Now, when I was young, Oxford University was the bastion of excellence, where its philosophical discussions were the envy of the world. University in general actually was a place for expanding the mind, exploring other realities and possibilities, but Oxford University had the edge. Never did I think that it would be taken over by a woke hypocrisy that challenges its very core. Now, I think I really started hearing about all of this going slightly publicly wrong for Oxford University in 2020, after it served up sweets containing beef to students at a dinner celebrating the Hindu festival Diwali. In Hinduism, the cow is a symbol of life and is a sacred animal, so as a result, most Hindus do not eat beef. Unfortunately, the university's Christ Church College did not scrutinise the ingredients list properly, and the wrong sweets were provided. Now, they rightly apologised for any upset that this may have caused, and Rajan Zed, who's the president of the Universal Society of Hinduism, said Christchurch needed to educate itself. It was shocking and deeply hurtful for the Hindu community to visualise its students being reportedly served with beef-laced fruit gum candy Haribo Gold Bears. So the university has understandably been hyper-vigilant ever since. In June, students at Oxford University at Magdalen College voted to remove a portrait of the Queen from the Common Room. They claimed that the image was a symbol of recent colonial history. They wanted to make the Common Room more welcoming and to recognise that for some students, depictions of the monarch and the British monarchy represent recent colonial history. Well, Education Secretary Gavin Williamson at the time called it simply absurd, pretty much the only thing he's ever said that I actually agree with. So basically, the students cancelled the Queen from their Common Room. Ridiculous. In another incident, 150 Oxford University academics were refusing to teach at Oriel College after it decided to keep a controversial statue of Cecil Rhodes, who was a slave trader who had studied there, saying that he was a symbol of white supremacy and that racism and the statue glorifies colonialism. But after an inquiry, it was decided that it would not remove it due to the cost and complex planning processes. The college expressed sadness at the decision, while the head of Oxford University said she was deeply disappointed. Lecturers said that the college decision was not to remove the statue undermines us all, and that the whole university can only work to eradicate racism if all its colleges do so. So you'd think, with this demonstration of off-the-scale wokery, that a £6 million donation from the charitable trust set up by Max Mosley as part of a fortune he inherited from his father Oswald Mosley, the leader of the British Union of Fascists, would be kicked to the curb by the university, as would, of course, the cash totalling £6.3 million. But no, quite the opposite. The funds were cleared by an independent committee which apparently took into account legal, ethical and reputational issues. Plans are now underway to put the donation towards 2 colleges and create the Alexander Mosley Professor of Biophysics Fund, and also build a new block for student accommodation called Alexander Mosley House. Yeah, that's a bit like calling it the Mussolini or Hitler House. Neither of those would either be acceptable, would they? Robert Halfon, chairman of the Education Select Committee, said, "I find it distressing that Oxford University is so keen to go on about diversity and inclusion, but is prepared to take the shilling from such sources. It seems that wokeness goes out of the window. I suspect students will be asking for the money to be returned."